here in Seoul Studios. About to cook up some Hawaiian Teriyaki burgers, some oven roasted pineapples, and some Hawaiian Coleslaw.
Yeah, let's get it.
Alright, so we're going to start here with the Hawaiian Teriyaki burger. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump in. We've got 2 pounds of hamburger meat.
What kind of hamburger meat is this?
So this hamburger meat, I prefer to use 80% lean, just for the purposes of the burger does shrink when you cook it. You can always substitute your meat for turkey or whatever your preference. So we're going to go ahead and jump in the carrots. We got half a cup. Yep, chopped up shredded carrots. We've got half a jalapeno.
Make sure it's there.
Make sure it's in there. We've got our green onion, half a cup. Just a little bit. Alright. And we've got our 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. We've got 1 tablespoon of Teriyaki. And then last but not least, we have got our ginger, 1 tablespoon as well. I'm going to go ahead and mix that up. I'm going to have my husband here, co-chef, mix that up.
Right.
And while he's mixing that up, I'm going to go ahead and get started here on the coleslaw. We're going to go ahead and dump the coleslaw into the bucket, mixing bowl. Get that in there. Next, we're going to go ahead and grab these crushed pineapples, 1 can. Don't drain the juice, that's very important. Keep the juice. Oops. Next, we're going to go ahead and add in half a cup of chopped onions. Then we're going to add in, or that's it for this, we're going to mix this up.
Quick question. With this, does it matter how much I mix it, or should I not mix it so much?
Maybe don't mix it so much, because the more you mix it, the more dry out it'll make the burger. So the less you mix it, the better. But you do want to mix it well enough that everything blends together nicely. Yep, that looks great. Once you get that mixed together, you're going to go ahead and form your patties. This can usually form about 8 patties. For today's video, we'll probably do about 4, but depends on how big you make your burgers. We're going to go ahead and set that to the side. Alright, so while we've got that sitting here with the pineapples and onions in it, I'm going to go ahead and start the teriyaki sauce for the burgers while he's getting those prepared. So for the teriyaki sauce, we're going to start with mixing up our cornstarch. We're going to go ahead and dump the water into this cornstarch. Half a cup of water, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm going to make sure you mix it well so that all the cornstarch dissolves into the water. Once you get that mixed, go ahead and set it to the side so that the cornstarch can thicken. And continue with the rest of the sauce. Set that into the side. Go ahead and turn that on for this to go ahead and preheat. Get that preheating. While that's heating up, we can go ahead and put in the pineapple juice. This is for the teriyaki sauce, 1 cup of pineapple juice. After the 1 cup of pineapple juice, we're going to add in our brown sugar. 6 tablespoons or 3/8 of a cup. After we get the brown sugar mixed in, we're going to go ahead and add our ginger and garlic cloves. So it's going to be 1 tablespoon or 1 teaspoon of ginger, 2 small garlic cloves, and we're going to go ahead and mix that up real well. After all the brown sugar has dissolved, you're going to want to go ahead and add in your soy sauce. Bear with me, I'm new to the recipe as well, guys. But we got this. It's also half a cup of soy sauce. You're going to go ahead and dump that in. Mix it all as well. Alright, now that we got that all mixed up, we're going to leave that there to simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and go back over to the Hawaiian coleslaw. We're going to start prepping the dressing for the coleslaw. So we're going to want to grab a separate bowl. It's alright. I'm going to grab my spoon. Get one of these. You're going to want to dump half a cup of mayo into a separate mixing bowl. After you get the half a cup of mayo in, you're going to want to add your brown sugar, 2 tablespoons. After you get your brown sugar in, you're going to want to add your vinegar, also 2 tablespoons.
Smells delicious.
It's going to be amazing. After we get the vinegar in, next we're going to want to add half a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and mix up all of these ingredients. Want to blend them well until it is very smooth and creamy. Turn that down to a simmer. Don't want it to be boiling too high.
I'm opening the pineapples that are going in the burger.
Those pineapples, we can either grill them while the burger is cooking or you can grill them separately. It's up to you, your preference.
And also, if you want to go fresh, you can go fresh. But today, since we're doing this video, we're going to go ahead and use canned.
Alright, so once we got the dressing mixed for the Hawaiian coleslaw, we're going to go ahead and bring this bowl back over. We're going to move these off to the side. Alright, we got this bowl, we've got our dressing. Go ahead and get our whisk. We're going to dump all the dressing into the bowl. Try and get out as much as possible. Alright, we're going to go ahead and set these off to the side. Go ahead and get me some gloves. Ooh, got that one in the garbage. Got those on. We're going to go ahead and mix well till all of the coleslaw is evenly covered in the dressing.
Man, these burgers smell amazing.
Oh, it does. It smells really good. Alright, that's pretty well blended. Go ahead and take these gloves off. Alright, and once you get this, everything is well blended, your coleslaw is complete, you put it in the fridge for 4 or more hours. After 4 hours, it is ready to serve. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it in here for now. Let that start cooling. Go ahead and get these out of our way. We are done with all these measuring things as well. Go ahead and put them off to the side. Alright, now here, this we have got pineapple chunks. Again, this is brown sugar roasted pineapples. So again, you can use fresh, you can use frozen. For this scenario, we're going to use frozen. Keep in mind, if you do use frozen, you do want to let your pineapples thaw out before starting to prep them. We're going to go ahead and set that off to the side. We're going to get our butter. This is 1/4 of a cup of butter you're going to need for those. We're going to get this preheating. Go ahead and hit bake. You're going to want to preheat your oven to 450 degrees. Wait for that butter to melt, and as soon as the butter melts, we're going to be mixing in our brown sugar, cinnamon, and salt.
So unfortunately this burner went out, but it's okay because we can still use this one. So we're going to go ahead and just give it a little bit so we can get this butter to melt, and then we'll start the burgers back up. But it's okay because we got plenty of time to prep.
Butter is just about done.
Go ahead and take a water break.
Right. Definitely need some of those. Gotta stay hydrated. Alright, so this butter here is ready. Go ahead and get the butter over here. So again, this is 1/4 cup of melted butter. After we get the butter melted, next we're going to want to dump in our brown sugar, 1/2 cup. You're going to want to dump in 1/4 of a teaspoon salt and 1/2 a teaspoon of cinnamon. Alright, go ahead and mix all this together, mix well until everything is dissolved and well blended. Alright, we got this well mixed together. Should be a nice brown, kind of creamy color texture. Alright, after you get all of that mixed, you want to measure out your 4 cups of pineapples. Get them into a mixing bowl. After you get those into the mixing bowl, you're going to want to dump in the sauce over the top of the pineapples. That in there. I'm going to set that off to the side and get some new gloves. All right. So you're going to want to again mix everything well together, get all the pineapples evenly coated into the mixture with butter, cinnamon, and salt, brown sugar. Just kind of gently toss it around. All right. Go ahead and get these gloves off. Alright, after you get all of that mixed together, you're going to want to put the pineapples into a baking tray. Again, let me get some fresh gloves.
Sorry about that. Just a little bit of technical difficulties, but nothing to worry about. Voila, we're up, back and running.
We're live.
Okay, just a little technical difficulty.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright, so once you get the pineapples into the baking tray, you're going to want to spread them out evenly. Try and make sure none of them are overlapping each other so that they all evenly bake. Okay, get these off. Wait for this to go ahead and get preheated here. Alright, and as soon as we hear that beep, we'll go ahead and throw those in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Pull them out and they are ready to eat. Set that off to the side. How those burgers coming? How them burgers coming?
Oh, they come and they look nice. Very nice. They smell delicious more than anything.
They look amazing.
One day there will be a smell-o-vision. Imagine that. Where you can just smell what's going on. When we do shows like this, it'd be amazing.
Oh, it would. That would be amazing. Might be hungry all the time though.
True, true. Oh.
Go ahead and get one of these spoons over here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump back over to the teriyaki sauce. Again, we've got all of the ingredients mixed in. We've got it well boiled. Go ahead and give it about another 10 minutes since we have that little delay. Alright though. Go ahead and get that to a simmer. Once a little bit of the juice has kind of disappeared and evaporated away, we are going to mix up the cornstarch again, get it well blended, and then we are going to start dumping the cornstarch into the teriyaki sauce to develop the thickness of the sauce. I'm excited.
Also, another question, with the thickness of the sauce, when you put this in, does it really matter how long you leave it sitting? Is it crucial?
So with any sauce, when it comes to gravies or sauces, the more cornstarch you use, the thicker the sauce. Also, the longer that you have it on the heat, it continues to cook and thickens as well. So you also have to keep in mind that when you're cooking it, the thickness will change once you take it off the heat. So kind of leave it a little runny, but not too runny because it will thicken as it snaps. Alright, so we've got the oven preheated. We're going to go ahead and get our pineapple mixture in. Alright. We're going to go ahead and set a timer for 20 minutes. Alright, so we've got our timer going. We'll hear that beep. 20 minutes. Alright.
Timer?
Yeah, we got that timer going. It's counting down.
And it's always good to set a timer because, I mean, sometimes things happen. We have kids, so.
Yeah, sometimes you forget, accidentally burn your food, and that sucks.
Yeah. Teriyaki sauce is pretty much done.
Pretty much done. We just got to combine in the cornstarch to get the thickness. As soon as we get those burgers finished up, we'll go ahead and get the teriyaki sauce finished. That way the teriyaki sauce is still warm when we go to put it on the burgers. About 10 more minutes on them pineapples.
So this was a recipe that we put together with each other, just a little something of where we should go for our first trip. And we always wanted to go to Hawaii, so here we are doing a Hawaii dish.
Hawaiian everything.
Yes. We are missing our flowers,
Yes.
so
Unfortunately, we are. But that's
enjoy the flavor.
I hope whenever I do actually get to go to Hawaii, I get to experience some real Hawaiian flavors. Try all the foods.
So did you want to go ahead and pull out the coleslaw?
Yep.
Also, again, we did make this prior to coming because we don't have 4 hours.
Yeah, it
But
takes
for
the
the
4
show.
hours in the fridge. But we did prepare a finished dish just for the show. So here is the finished product. After it is finished, I would suggest giving it a good stir, just to kind of well blend everything after it has sat overnight, or for the 4 hours. 4-hour minimum though. So once it's all mixed, and it is ready to serve. We're gonna go ahead and take this over here. I don't need that just yet. Alright, so since the burgers are just about finished up, we're gonna go ahead and finish up the teriyaki sauce. Give it a mix, get it all blended. Go ahead and heat it back up to a simmer. Let it simmer for about 5 minutes, and then we'll mix in the cornstarch. Cornstarch mix while we're waiting for that to start to boil. Once your cornstarch is all mixed together, it should look kind of like milk in a way. It'll be white, real watery.
And the thickness doesn't start until you mix it?
The thickness will not start until you mix it into the sauce. Basically, it's kind of heat activated. It doesn't thicken until you mix it into your sauce. And you can feel the thickness as you're mixing it in. You mix it in slowly, don't dump it all in at once. Dump a little, mix it, feel the thickness as you're mixing it, and just keep adding cornstarch until it's the thickness that you desire.
So the burner did go out again, but it's fine. These things like this happen, so this is actual proof that this happens. So, you know, more than anything, don't get frustrated, things happen.
Can't let the barriers stop you from accomplishing what you're trying to accomplish.
Because in the end, when it is done, we enjoy the flavors.
Oh yes.
then everything just disappears.
Into my belly.
Yay. So these are just about done. So just give them
Now we got about 5 more minutes on the pineapples before we pull them out. Things coming along real nice. Sometimes if you're unsure about the burger, if it's done, you can always poke a hole right in the center, push out a little bit of the juice. If you still see red, that means that the burger still has redness inside of it. However, you can cook it to your preference. I like mine well done. Others prefer different. If you're like me though and you like well done, make sure that there's no red in the center when you push down and the grease comes out. If the grease comes out clear, you're in the clear. The red. There's still pink on the inside. Well, it's always a good way to tell.
It's always good for me to know because I never knew that my biggest problem with cooking burgers is always I put the heat too high sometimes and then I end up overcooking it. Or overcooking the outside, not understanding that the inside still needs to cook. Yes. So that poking a hole is very...
Yeah. Also, when you are cooking, how you mentioned temperatures, temperature is very important. Like you said, you don't want to cook too high because then it ends up burned and not fully cooked. You don't want to cook it too low. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it will take very long to cook. Kind of do about a medium heat and it'll cook beautifully.
Okay, we're gonna do one more final jump from there to here and we should be good.
Should be good.
Like I said, this is our first show, so more than anything, we're picking out the bugs. But it is coming along beautifully. Very beautifully.
Beautiful in there.
First time we guys still on.
Got about 3 minutes.
One of the good things with these.
Yeah. So the burgers are just about done. We'll go ahead and pull up our buns. Bun is your preference, however, because we were kind of doing the Hawaiian theme, it's a little bit sweet, it's got pineapple in it. We chose Wonder Honey Buns. Very amazing.
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and get those up there so that we can get our burgers prepped as they come off the grill. And last but not least, as we do pull off the burgers, we're gonna put a few pineapples on there and get them cooked. We prefer to use a separate pan. You can use the same pan if you would like, completely up to you. You can combine the flavors. We like to kind of keep the pineapple flavor separate. So that's what we're gonna be doing. But if you want the pineapples to have the flavor of the burgers, combine them all together. Last thing we're waiting on is for this to go ahead and start boiling, and mix in this and get the thickness, and we are good.
I've always liked cooked pineapples from Thanksgiving, like on the ham.
Yes.
Oh,
That's the best way to have ham, I think.
yes.
Pineapple.
Hey,
Gotta have pineapple.
comment if you would like a ham. We'll do a ham. We can show sides, whatever. We'll figure it out. We pick out things. We take suggestions.
Gladly take requests. Alright, so it's just about boiling. Let's go ahead and mix in our cornstarch mix.
It's about almost 2 minutes left on the pineapples.
Alright, so pineapples and teriyaki sauce should be done right about the same time,
Now that's good timing.
isn't it? See how everything works out in the end. Comes together.
This is proof. Things can go wrong, but in the end, you enjoy the flavor.
So again, like I said, slowly mix in the cornstarch, give it a little bit to kind of start thickening up. That way you don't put too much. Dump in a little bit more.
Smells just like teriyaki.
Best teriyaki is homemade teriyaki.
Yes.
And I'll let it come back up to a boil. Sometimes too, if your cornstarch kind of starts to settle at the bottom, you can kind of mix it around, get it all back mixed together. If that's boiling good, go ahead and dump in some more of our cornstarch mix. Mix it around. You do want to kind of stir frequently. Not stirring enough can kind of lead it to be lumpy. So you do want to make sure you mix it enough. There is no such thing as over mixing, so you can consistently stir. You can kind of stir and let it reboil. It's really up to you and how you prefer to do it.
Oh, yes.
Come together real nice. mix up just a little bit more cornstarch. I like it just a little bit thicker. We're just gonna put a little bit more in there. Great. Then get our water. Again, you do want to mix it up real well. So again, with the cornstarch, there's no certain amount to add. It's really to your preference. Teriyaki sauce is just about done. And check the pineapples. They are ready.
Those look amazing. And that's the timer. And these pineapples are done.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and scoop these back. Right. Go ahead and set those there to cool. You do want to let them cool for about 5 minutes or so. We're going to need the rest of that. Go ahead and turn the oven on. Oh, those smell amazing.
Always make sure you turn your burners off. You never know, anybody's going to walk by. Like I said, we have children, so we take a big precaution about it. So turn burners off every time you're done.
The sauce is ready. It's nice and creamy to the texture that I like. Again, you can make it as thick as you like. However, this is how I like mine. Alright, and that is everything. Go ahead and leave that there just to cool since it is real hot. So again, we've got our Hawaiian coleslaw. We've got our oven roasted pineapples, and we've got our Hawaiian Teriyaki burgers.
So
Go ahead and put a plate together.
So if you like what you saw, please subscribe to the link to our YouTube page. We're going to give a lot more.
Definitely like, comment, share. You got a request, something you'd like to see be made?
Place it in the comments.
Place it in the comments down below. We'll gladly make it.
So thank you again for watching this with us. Enjoy. We will enjoy our meal.
Definitely. Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoy. Have a good night.